Our top focus this afternoon. Hong Kong's authorities are now all set to ban dining in restaurants after 6 p.m. This is one of the revised measures that will be put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19. Hong Kong's chief executive, Carrie Lam, has said that the government had received scientific evidence and studied the population movement patterns before deciding to tighten these rules even further.
第二方面呢，就係嗰啲營業處所。咁如果要控制呢個疫情，避免佢翻去7月高峰或者甚至超越7、8月高峰期咧，我哋同樣嘅社區隔離嘅設施咧，亦都要翻去，起碼喺嗰個情形之下採取嘅。咁而家剩翻落嚟需要進一步限制嘅咧，就係食肆、晚市、堂食嚇。我哋冇辦法都係需要禁止食肆咧喺晚上大概6點後咧就唔能夠再安排佢嘅顧客咧係堂食嚇。
The government has urged residents to stay at home and limit gatherings to not more than 2 people. Most civil servants have also been asked to work from home. Lam has not provided any details on when the new measures will take effect. Hong Kong has recorded 78 new cases of COVID-19, taking the case count to almost 7,000. The death toll stands at 112. Now, for more details about the situation in Hong Kong, joining us live from Hong Kong is journalist Ryan Ho-Kilpatrick. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Some new measures are being imposed by the Hong Kong authorities. No dining in restaurants after 6 p.m. Tell us more about the coronavirus situation in the city-state and how are these measures being perceived by the public?
Right. So right now, Hong Kong is experiencing what we're calling the 4th wave of coronavirus infections. Over the past 2 weeks, there have been over 1,200 new cases. And new measures just introduced to try to curb this 4th wave include complete shutdown of nightlife, bars, nightclubs, shutting karaoke lounges, game centers, mahjong parlors, beauty salons, gyms, and as you mentioned, banning dining at restaurants after 6 p.m. and limiting groups to a maximum of only 2 each. And there's a lot of concern about how this will affect businesses. It'll be a death sentence for hundreds. The catering industry says 1,000 restaurants will have to close this week. A lot of business obviously banking on the holiday season to make up for their losses the rest of this year will be bitterly disappointed.
Right, that actually brings me to my next question, Ryan. A lockdown fatigue, so to speak, has set in globally. So how will these new measures impact businesses in Hong Kong, and do you expect a backlash from business owners?
Yes, there's definitely lockdown fatigue in Hong Kong, especially because Hong Kong has never experienced a complete strict lockdown. Instead, it just goes through these cycles of tightening and then loosening restrictions. And so people are both confused and tired at this point. I think there's definitely criticism coming from business and individuals as well in terms of how this 4th wave reflects the government's failures to address the spread of the virus in the past.
Right. Now, lastly, multiple countries are currently in the process of rolling out a vaccine against COVID-19 after the United Kingdom approved the same, of course. So give us some details about Hong Kong's vaccination plans and if there are any front runners right now as vaccine candidates.
Yes, a vaccination isn't expected to take place until spring or summer, so that offers some light at the end of the tunnel. But it'll still be, very bleak, long winter for business and individuals here. And as I was saying earlier, it opens a lot of criticism of the government in terms of how they're doing this in the past and how they let this 4th wave happen, especially at these ballroom dance centers that it's exploded in, where there have been clusters of hundreds of cases. And, why the government wasn't restricting these earlier, but were very strictly restricting public gatherings of, potential protests.
Right. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for all your inputs and thank you for joining us on this broadcast.